A blast of Arctic air is causing a deep freeze on the Great Lakes tonight.
Great Lakes.
The Great Lakes.
Great Lakes.
Vast, shimmering, and stretching from the edge of the Midwest to the border of Canada, the Great Lakes are not just bodies of water. They're enigmas. The lakes themselves, carved out by ancient glaciers, form the largest group of freshwater lakes on Earth by total area, their waves hiding centuries, if not millennia, of untold stories just beneath the surface. These inland seas shape the climate, ecology, and the destinies of the communities that hug their shores. Beyond their economic and ecological impact, the Great Lakes hold profound spiritual and cultural significance for native nations, whose oral histories speak of ancient floods, sky-born creatures, and landforms that predate recorded time. The lake's misty coastlines and storm-lashed headlands have bred legends of ghost ships, unquiet spirits, and bottomless depths. A folklore blending with the unsettling truths scientists are continually uncovering. Yet, what lies beneath the waters is more bewildering than anyone imagined. In the last decade, scientists and explorers have pulled back the watery curtain, uncovering discoveries that are both spectacular and mysterious, from prehistoric monuments akin to a possible sunken Stonehenge, to colossal craters gouged into the lakebed by nature's immense forces, to pieces of ancient continents locked deep within the region's geology. The Great Lakes have proven to be both a time capsule and a harbinger of an unpredictable future. Imagine ancient hunters navigating Ice Age landscapes now submerged by cold blue waters, or scientists finding DNA from vanished worlds locked deep within underwater peat bogs. The truth is, the Great Lakes region isn't just a backdrop for history, it's a dynamic frontier, reshaped by earthquakes, glaciers, changing climates, and teeming with life forms that have evolved in isolation. Could Canada's dormant volcanoes still pose a threat? Discoveries, mere glimpses into something deeper, something that could rewrite the story of North America itself. As each year passes, our understanding of the lake's history becomes more nuanced and mysterious. Let's embark on a journey to the heart of the Great Lakes as we reveal 20 of the most perplexing and awe-inspiring scientific discoveries from this legendary region. Sunken Monument, the Lake Michigan Stonehenge. Beneath the surface of Lake Michigan, advanced sonar equipment has detected a remarkable anomaly. Arrayed in what appears to be a deliberate pattern, a series of stones rest on the lake's floor, some 40 feet beneath the surface. One boulder in the group, as reported by researchers, even appears to bear markings that resemble a mastodon, a creature extinct for over 10,000 years. However, while this formation is sometimes compared to England's Stonehenge, experts urge caution. Much more study is needed to confirm whether these rocks were indeed artistically or intentionally arranged by humans, or whether their current configuration owes to natural forces. The possible mastodon carving, for instance, may be the product of weathering or human handiwork. Were these stones placed during a time of lower water levels, by humans navigating a dry, tundra-like landscape? Could these formations align with astronomical events, or were they constructed for reasons now lost to time? The Lake Michigan Stonehenge remains an archaeological mystery, emblematic of how much remains hidden beneath the waves. The craters beneath, Cyclopean scars of Lake Michigan. Another shock came when researchers mapped the bottom of Lake Michigan and confirmed the presence of approximately 40 massive craters. Each is gouged deep into ancient sediments, measuring up to several hundred feet across and plunging tens of feet into the lakebed. The origins of these craters are still under investigation. Some propose that they may be products of glacial action, carved out by blocks of ice or explosions of gas trapped under sediment. Others believe they may have formed through collapse or erosion rather than meteorite impacts or volcanic outbursts. Whatever their exact cause, these formations challenge our understanding of the region's geological history, offering a physical record of ancient natural events that shape the lakes we see today. Lost continents and primeval rivers. What lies beneath the lakes? The Great Lakes don't just rest on simple earth. They lie atop a deep, complex geological history. Research using sonar imaging, drilling, and core sampling has revealed ancient land masses and buried river valleys beneath the water and sediment. Some of these valleys may have guided rivers long before the last ice age. These discoveries are reminders that North America's landscape has shifted dramatically over millions of years, with ancient continents colliding, breaking apart, and grinding together, leaving their traces beneath the present-day lakes. The faint signatures of these prehistoric features help geologists reconstruct the region's deep past, and each new finding adds to a richer understanding of how today's landscape evolved. The submerged hunting blind, Ice Age survival tactics. Roughly 10,000 years ago, lake levels were much lower, and now submerged areas were exposed as plains or tundra. Scientists exploring the lake beds have uncovered stone hunting blinds, carefully stacked arrangements crafted by Paleo-Indian hunters. These blinds would have allowed ancient peoples to stalk herds of migrating animals, likely caribou or mammoths, across open land. Their discovery, a result of underwater archaeological studies, offers key insight into early human ingenuity and adaptability in the face of environmental change. These relics bear witness to a people who used teamwork, technology, and strategy to survive a time when the world was in flux. Peat bogs and ancient DNA, windows into vanished ecosystem. The discovery of submerged peat bogs on the lakebed opened new paths for understanding the ancient ecosystems that predated the Great Lakes as we know them. Peat bogs, preserved beneath the water's surface, provide a rare and valuable archive of ancient pollen, plant matter, and animal DNA. By analyzing tiny samples from these peat deposits, scientists reconstruct lost habitats, tundra steppes, boreal forests, and grasslands filled with life, much of which has since vanished. These underwater time capsules are vital for piecing together how climate and landscapes changed at the end of the last ice age. Through DNA sampling, tiniest seeds, and pollen, scientists can reveal millennia-old environments, tracing ecological transitions that our surface landscapes have long forgotten. The Great Lakes New Climate Era, a turning point in environmental history. A landmark scientific study found that the Great Lakes, as a regional system, have now entered a new climate era. Past cycles and patterns no longer accurately predict today's seasonal behaviors or environmental states. Ice cover and water levels, once relatively stable and cyclical, now fluctuate unpredictably, while evaporation rates and storm patterns are also shifting. Already, the effects of this change are visible. Thinning ice cover, more frequent and intense storms, and faster coastal erosion. Native and invasive species alike are responding to changing conditions, sometimes with dramatic ecological and economic consequences. This shift has made the Great Lakes a barometer for climate change impacts, providing urgent data and warning for regions beyond their shores. The underwater world of rainforests, remnants of an ancient green sea. It may sound improbable, but the prehistoric bedrock beneath and around the Great Lakes holds fossilized evidence of ancient forests, long before glaciers reshaped the region. In layers of sediment and solidified peat, researchers have uncovered the remains of ancient trees, ferns, and pollen from an era when the climate was much warmer and wetter than today. While not literal rainforests under the lakes, the fossil record points to periods when subtropical forests dominated swathes of North America. Pieces of petrified wood and fossil imprints help tell this story, revealing the climate's enormous swings over hundreds of millions of years. Through study of these fossils, the region's ancient biology is pieced together, showing how life responded to, and sometimes was eliminated by, planetary change. Sunken rivers, hidden arteries beneath freshwater seas. Underneath the thick layers of recent lake sediments, scientists have identified features called paleochannels, ancient riverbeds now buried deep below water and mud. These tunnels and channels are remnants of old drainage systems from before, during, and after the ice ages. These paleochannels are important for understanding past environments. Their discovery demonstrates that water has shaped this region not just on the surface, but far beneath. Water continues to subtly influence the chemistry, sediment, and even microbial life within the depths. Does water still flow through some of these channels, connecting unseen aquifers? While much remains to be learned, the discovery of buried rivers adds another dimension to the landscape's hidden architecture. Granite Enigma, the purpose of Michigan's stone arrangements. In addition to the possible Stonehenge arrangement in Lake Michigan, other linear or cluster-like granite stone groupings have been identified on the lakebed and nearby shores. The origins and purpose of these patterns remain unclear. Are they remnants of ancient human structures, fish traps, waymarkers, or natural deposits left by retreating glaciers? Without further evidence, scientists withhold definitive conclusions. Yet their peculiar regularity and apparent organization continue to spark debate and curiosity. This granite enigma stands as a tangible reminder of unresolved mysteries awaiting clarification in the Great Lakes region. Mass extinction clues, Mastodon carvings at the Stonehenge site. A boulder at the underwater site in Lake Michigan was reported to have markings resembling a mastodon. Debate continues over whether the carving is man-made or natural, but its very presence stirs the imagination. If authentic, such a carving could chronicle the presence of Ice Age megafauna in the area, and possibly early human responses to their extinction. However, until further analysis confirms its veracity, the significance remains uncertain, a symbol of how much is still unknown about prehistoric cultures at the water's edge. Prehistoric shorelines, evidence of previous lake levels. Terraces, scarps, and sediments trace the edges of the Great Lakes, offering visible proofs of ancient shorelines. Using satellite imagery and ground-based studies, scientists have documented these paleo shores, which mark phases when lake levels were higher or lower than today. These layers tell a story of catastrophic floods, sudden drops, and surging waters, a direct result of melting glaciers and shifting climates. The landscape was rendered anew multiple times as ice dams failed and torrents reshaped entire valleys. These shifting shorelines leave questions for modern society. How rapidly could dramatic changes in water levels revisit the lakes in the future? Megafauna graveyards, fossil bones in the lakebed sediment. Occasionally, dredging projects and dives yield the fossilized bones of creatures like mastodons, giant beavers, and ancient bison, remnants of a time when the edges of the lakes were dry land and teeming with large mammals. Some bones are jumbled and broken, others more complete, tantalizing scientists with the possibility of learning about extinction events, diet, and ancient environments. Each new fossil find helps flesh out the tapestry of Pleistocene life in North America and raises hopes that further, perhaps more spectacular discoveries remain under the mud and silt. Cataclysmic impact theories. Did meteorites help shape the basin? The formation of Great Lakes craters has inspired theories about meteorite impacts, though most structures currently studied seem likelier to stem from glacial or collapse events. No definitive craters have yet been proven as large meteorite impact sites under the current lakes. Nonetheless, scientists do investigate shock features, deformation in rocks, and geochemical signatures in hopes of decoding whether cosmic impacts ever left their mark here. For now, most evidence for impact structures is indirect or associated with smaller or more ancient events elsewhere. Subterranean volcanic remnants, echoes of the region's fiery youth. Long before the Great Lakes, during the Proterozoic eon, volcanic activity was present in what is now the Midwest. The basin contains ancient igneous rocks and lava flows, today deeply buried below sediment and water. These remnants reflect a time when North America's geological plates were moving and rifting, and earth-shaping forces played a significant role. However, any volcanoes in this region have long been extinct. Today, the risks of volcanic eruptions in the Midwest are vanishingly small. Lake traps, sudden sinkholes, swallowing the lakebed. Some of the circular depressions in the lakebed are suspected to result from natural collapses, similar to sinkholes or pockmarks formed by the release of natural gas or the dissolution of underlying salt or gypsum layers. Subsurface collapse can create sudden hazards, though large-scale sinkholes in the submerged parts of the Great Lakes remain exceedingly rare today. Modern instruments monitor ground movement to track possible areas of instability, but most such features are believed to be relics of ancient processes rather than current threats to the shoreline or settlements. Anomalous seismic activity, the shifting earth below. The Great Lakes and surrounding Midwest are often considered geologically stable, but minor earthquakes do sometimes ripple through the region. Most seismic events are associated with ancient faults reactivating or with isostatic rebound, the slow uplifting of Earth's crust after the weight of glaciers was removed. Though rarely damaging, these quakes are reminders that the solid ground beneath the lakes is subtly active and slowly changing over time as deep earth processes continue to play out in the crust far below. Echoes of lost humans, the submerged camps of ancient peoples, underwater archaeological sites, especially in areas once above water after the last glaciation, tell of ancient camps and activities at now submerged locations. Remnants discovered include hearths, stone tools, and worked bone, testimony to hunting, gathering, and settlement before rising waters reclaimed these territories. While no complex settlements have yet been found, evidence of daily life, tools, and campfires evokes the adaptability and resilience of peoples who called these shifting shorelines home. Clues from the depths, chunks of ancient continents. Some bedrock samples retrieved from the Great Lakes area contain pieces of continental crust hundreds of millions to billions of years old, a patchwork assembled through plate tectonics and ancient geological processes. These basement rocks are often deeply buried beneath younger sediments, but occasionally surface in outcrops and drill cores. These ancient crust fragments, bearing witness to planet-wide cycles of creation and destruction, help link regional geology to the broader story of Earth's changing continents. Living oddities, strange creatures beneath the surface. The Great Lakes support unique ecosystems, home to many species found nowhere else. Some are relics, deep-water fish, like the sculpin or burbot, evolved for the lake's conditions. Unusual and rarely seen species, including native and introduced invertebrates, thrive in the cold, dark depths and sediment. Studies continue to reveal the diversity and adaptation found in these underwater worlds. While the region is not known for alien life forms, the blend of ancient fish, microscopic creatures, and evolving populations testifies to both resilience and the ever-shifting nature of life in isolated freshwater seas. A living laboratory, the Great Lakes as a model for change. With every scientific discovery, the Great Lakes take on a new role, not merely as natural marvels or sources of fresh water, but as an evolving, dynamic laboratory where geology, biology, archaeology, and climatology intersect. The lakes reflect humanity's past, present, and perhaps our uncertain future. They offer living case studies for climate change, extinction, adaptation, and cooperation. Each layer of ice, mud, and rock is a chronicler of cycles, records of flood, drought, growth, and renewal. As new discoveries are made and technology advances, these inland seas will continue to rewrite the story of the heart of a continent, sometimes with answers, sometimes sparking more questions than before. The Boundless Unseen. Are there more wonders yet to uncover? Despite hundreds of explorations and decades of research, the Great Lakes region remains a place of haunting questions and unfathomable mystery. What will the next sonar sweep or core sample reveal? Are there undiscovered monuments, lost landscapes, or evidence of long-gone peoples waiting in the depths? Every find challenges our sense of certainty. Every revelation widens the boundaries of what we imagine possible within our own world. The Great Lakes remind us that the lure of the unknown is endless, and that one new discovery can rewrite what we think we know about Earth itself. What fascinates or puzzles you most about these discoveries? The silent stones resting beneath Lake Michigan, the faint outlines of vanished continents, or the shadows of ancient hunters found in submerged bogs? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. We're only at the surface of the world's wonders. On our next journey, we'll peer into the stunning innovations and secrets of the United States' next great region. Don't miss it.